Hello again. Now, Rahima Moosa hospital officials have come under fire following a video of pregnant women sleeping on the hospital's floors. The clip went viral on social media recently and has sparked an outcry, getting the attention of Gauteng health officials. Joburg's MMC for Health and Social Development came out to say the hospital is burdened by undocumented foreigners. Well, let's hear now from DA's Gauteng Member of Legislature, Jack Bloom. Mr. Bloom, good afternoon. Your view about what's happening at Rahima Moosa?
Well, you know, it's just symptomatic of the larger problem in the Gauteng Health Department. It's only partly because there's a lot of foreign patients. You can go to hospitals all around Gauteng and you'll see similar scenes where patients are sleeping on the floor, they're overcrowded. It's just the general mismanagement, corruption, wastage of money, and it's deplorable, actually, absolutely deplorable. I really think that we shouldn't be scapegoating foreigners in this. We should actually putting the blame where it really is, the Gauteng Health Department, and with the CEO of this hospital. I asked a question in the legislature, how many days did this particular CEO spend at the hospital since she was appointed in 1st of January last year? And it turns out that she spends a third of her time working from home. I found this unbelievable. You know, I picked this up from the staff. They said to me that the CEO is not often there. And
why do you find it unbelievable that part of her time she's working from home?
Well, you're the CEO of the hospital. You should set an example. Doctors and nurses don't have the luxury of working from home. They've got to be there for the patient. And surely the CEO of the hospital should be there full time. I'm really astounded. I don't know of any other CEO of any other hospital who decides that they can work from home. Apparently, the Gauteng Health Department, the MEC of Health, has said to me that she was given permission to do this. I think it's completely wrong. It just tells you everything that's wrong with the Gauteng Health Department. If you're the head of a hospital, you have to set an example. And of course, this is why the CEO doesn't know what's happening in our own hospital, and she's denying that there are patients sleeping on the floor. Well, if you're at the hospital more full time, maybe you'd know what the problems there are, and you'd actually fix it up.
You raised the question in the Gauteng legislature, you say, asking several questions, including the one of the CEOs of the way of work. What else are you trying to zoom in on, and what answers are you getting? Because from the video clips we are showing, it doesn't really matter, as you correctly said, whether the patient is South African, whether the patient is foreigner, and that's not the real issue, as you say. And many people would agree with you. It comes down to proper management. But what else have you asked, and are you getting answers for your questions, Mr. Bloom?
Well, I have asked in the past about how many births there are at this particular hospital, whether they have enough staff. You know, they have about 16,000 births a year. It's an astounding number. And lately, the extra pressure is from the continuing closure of the Sharpenmaker Johannesburg Hospital. Now, that's entirely the fault of the Gauteng Health Department. You know, we keep getting told that more parts of the hospital will be reopened, and they're not. So you can go down the road from Rahima Moosa Hospital to the Helen Joseph Hospital, and you see some terrible scenes at the casualty department. There's patients sleeping on the floor, you know, really ill patients, and they won't get admitted to a ward until a couple of days. So that's the real problem, is that we have a chronically dysfunctional Gauteng Health Department, and I don't think they should scapegoat foreign patients. They need to seek a solution in terms of the Constitution. The legal position is that they're obliged to treat everyone who comes to the hospital. But I have made a suggestion, which the Gauteng Health Department said some years ago they were pursuing, that you send a bill for foreign patients to their embassies. Now, that seems to me like a really rational and practical way of getting extra funds to treat extra patients. So I'm pursuing that now in the Gauteng legislature. What happened to the proposal to send bills to foreign embassies, and why aren't we doing it now? It was actually the practice something like 15 to 20 years ago. I don't know why they stopped doing it.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see what response you get from that. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon, Mr. Jack Bloom. Of course, he's a member of the provincial legislature in Gauteng on behalf of his party, the DA.